Carcosh compared to all the professional presentations that have gone before. Basically, we're service users, first and foremost. My name is Rich Cowling and this is Josh Anderson. What we intend to do is give you a little history of our own mental health, because what we are is a mental health support group. And so we should give a little introduction to our mental health histories, which will put us into context, I suppose. We're going to talk about Andy's Man Club, where it started from, the ethos behind it, where the clubs are actually doing the work and so on. We're going to talk about the process on a Monday night when clubs are in, when we actually go to the clubs and what goes on in that Monday night. And we're going to also talk to you about some of the work that we do with other charities and some of the stuff that we do to keep people positive, involving them in activities and so on. So, first of all, Josh.
So thanks for having me, guys. I think first of all, for Lebanon, it ties in really well with homelessness. When people tend to be homeless, they tend to encounter mental health problems, whether that be depression, whether that be anxiety. They could have psychosis, bipolar, you name it. It can be a massive effect on them, downturning their mental health. What we are, as Richard thankfully covered, is basically the concept about us is we literally just sit in a room once on a Monday night and we basically offload stuff off our chest. Basically a little bit about me and my background. 1 year ago I was going through a real difficult storm. So I've come from a background whereby I was bullied all throughout my childhood. I didn't really have any friends, I didn't really have a future, and I was made homeless actually at the age of 16, 17. Going through quite difficult times, it was really hard to reach out. I felt like I'd be a burden to other people if I was going to offload my demons, the stuff on my chest. So I felt like I had no real turning point, nowhere to go to. Thankfully, I actually found Andy's Man Club through a friend of mine. I got referred there. For the first 3 weeks, I'd literally just be sat down with my glasses, just like this, literally, you couldn't even see me. And it took me a long time actually to be able to trust other people, and I think again that tying into homelessness is trust with other people and what they've gone through.
Yeah, so my history, I had a difficult childhood. School was a mess. I went into work at 16. I left home at the age of 16. Difficult relationship with my mother and my father. I went into work, bounced from job to job. Basically, a job a year at least, and probably more. And it was difficult to stay in work. I had periods where I was surfing, that it went in with all the drugs that I was using, cannabis, ecstasy. I was involved in all the rave culture in the early 90s. But that was all, I think, as I look back, that was about self-respect. I think, I didn't really respect myself, so I was always looking for a buzz, looking for some excitement and so on. I went to university. I actually ended up at university by accident in 1994. I went to college in the afternoons because I was very busy in the evenings, as you can imagine. But my days were a bit empty, so I thought, what shall I do? Oh, I'm interested in psychology, sociology, so I went to college and did this access to higher education. No real concept of what it was all about. You're supposed to do this and then go to university. But yeah, I ended up at university, and then, cut a long story short, I ended up with a 2-1 in applied social sciences, which was a major shock to me and everybody else who knew me. So anyway, I worked in the industry for a while, working in hostels. I worked for HARP and for Hull Resettlement Project, and worked on Roper Street as well. All through this time, I was lurching from one crisis to another, one mental health crisis to another, and really just holding life together with vinegar and brown paper. It's been a crazy life. So anyway, 25 years of ups and downs, and ins and outs with the NHS and so on. Eventually, last November, I came to my final crisis, if you like, it was a point where it was make or break, and without going into any great details, I felt like it was my last chance to do something to fix myself. So I was searching, and like Josh, I found Andy's Man Club on Facebook, and I looked at the videos and I thought, wow, that looks like a really positive environment. So I gave it a go. And again, like Josh, I was broken. I was at my lowest ebb, and it took me 3 weeks to say more than my name. It took me another 4 weeks to be able to talk without crying, and without going into the finer details of it, over the space of about 6 months, it fixed me. And we'll go into the details of how that works a bit later. So, Andy's Man Club. It's a support group for men. We've just achieved charitable status very recently, and I believe there are plans afoot to engage women as well. But it basically started in Halifax just over 2 years ago. A young man with apparently everything going for him in his life, a young family, a good job, heavily involved in sports and activities, a young child. Took himself off into the woods and took his own life. His family were obviously devastated, and the only way that they felt they could deal with this process, this whole thing that had happened, was by doing something about it. So they set up a coffee group for men to go and visit and talk openly in Halifax. And the first time that they were there was just the people that were setting the club up. And through word of mouth and social media, and Luke Ambler at the helm is an amazing inspirational character. You ought to search Luke Ambler online. He's got a lot of things going on, as well as Andy's Man Club. He was the driving force behind it, and cut a long story short, in the space of just over 2 years, there's 17 groups across the country, as far north as Perth in Scotland, and as far south as Newton Abbot in Cornwall. There's a big cluster in West Yorkshire where the whole thing started off, but we are looking for world domination, and certainly in the UK we would like to have an Andy's Man Club in every major town within the next, say, 5 years. You know, there are plans to do that. Obviously it takes a lot of money, so that's part of what we do as well, fundraising to keep the group going and to keep growing. So really the motto of Andy's Man Club as well, it's important to say, is it's okay to talk. And that's what we're trying to get through to men in the groups, that it is okay to talk, and we're all about changing the current dichotomy, the current ethos that men struggle to talk. Okay, so
So yeah, going back to what Rich really quickly said, then it's okay to talk. When it all got created, the Luke Ambler, the person who actually created Andy's Man Club, he actually created a global movement. I don't know if any of you have seen it online at all. It features Ricky Gervais. It's like, if you want to check it out on Facebook, hashtag it's okay to talk, this symbol. There's plenty of people who do selfies with it. Now, the whole concept of what we do on a Monday night, and this is good for obviously people and your networking as well, is we all meet about 6:30, 6:45. We'll have a free brew, and some of us will bring coffees, cakes, biscuits in. We'll have a little chin wag and a catch up. And we have built a general consistence really of 6 questions. So we'll always ask for the name and one positive reason why they're there. Now, if, like us, we've gone through a storm in the past, if you're on a bit of a downward spiral as it is, if they haven't got a positive reason to be there, it can put them to a bit of a negative mindset. So we try and lift that stigma straight away. We'll always ask them how the week's been, so we can get a general feel for how they're doing as a person, and we'll always ask them for one positive from their week, so again it keeps them in a positive mindset. Off the back of that, we'll ask them if there's anything to get off the chest. Now, it could be anything really small and minor. It could be someone who just cut you up outside. It could be just one of them old people who just walked really slow in front of you at a supermarket. You know, it's just a little downtime to get something off your chest. It's time for other members of the group to be able to have banter, be able to share, laugh, cry with. You know, that is a really powerful question, I feel. The remaining 2 questions we always ask is something for self-improvement. We always want to aim to improve ourselves and other people at all times. So we'll always ask them questions to help motivate them, such as, what's one thing you're going to do for yourself this week? Or what's something you're going to do to help other people this week? We always want to make sure they're bearing themselves and other people in mind at the same time with that. I think it's important to know our charity work as well that we've been doing. So I don't know if anyone's heard of Paul Spence before, Paul for Brain. We do a lot. Paul for Brain is basically for it's brain recovery. So he's doing marathons at the moment. We've been working alongside Paul for Brain for quite a while as well, basically being able to promote both charities at the same time. And we've also done, recently this year, we did a world record attempt of 30 hours of non-stop rugby. In the aim to raise money, we raised £2,500 for that, just for Andy's Bank alone. And we also matched that for another charity, which was the Danny Jones Defibrillator Fund.
Also, I think it's important. I just want to expand on what we were talking about, what we do on a Monday night. The questions and what have you is obviously meant to engage people and get them talking and expressing the feelings and so on and so on. But after we've done that section, we have a 10-minute coffee break again, and some people drift off. You know, it's purely optional, the second half of the group, but I feel it's where what we call the special sauce really gets daubed all over. You know, we talk about different coping mechanisms, different ideas, different theories, different ways of looking at your mental health, the world, how it impacts on you, how you can impact on the world. We talk about things like being in the present, and not particularly concentrating on the negatives from the past. Obviously, you know, your future, your present is formed by the past, but we're trying to avoid looking at the negative parts of your past. And there are all sorts of other things we talk about: meditation, different books that are inspiring and helpful, self-help group books you might call them. One particularly is The Chimp Paradox by Steve Peters. He was involved in the British cycling team and turning them from also-rans into world beaters. And I think everybody in the group who's had a go at reading that book has been amazed by it, because you see yourself. And we're all different guys, but we all see ourselves in that book. So you know, that's one of the real tools that we use. You have to persuade everybody to really have a go at the Chimp Paradox. So yeah, all those things, and we also really encourage people to get involved in physical activity, because we feel that physical activity and being engaged in society through physical activity, and perhaps doing the stuff that we do for charities, really helps to increase people's positivity. Anything to add, Josh?
Yeah, I was hoping, just one last thing before we finish, I don't want to sound really cheeky. What I was hoping to do is, I was going back to the It's Okay to Talk thing. I was hoping with all your permission here, we can have one big selfie of everyone doing this, and we'll upload that onto Facebook. Find yourself, tag It's Okay to Talk, and we've been World Homeless Day, World Mental Health Day as well at the same time. Let's get the message out there. What's everyone saying? Yes. Yeah? Let's do this.
Doing it wrong.
It's okay to talk, guys.
That's brilliant, guys. Thank you very much.